Panda presents
The Projectionist, Pet Slims of the Year, Trampled, Disinterred, Razor Eater, The Infernal Sea, in a very fratricidal Halloween.
Peterborough. Oh, Peterborough. Peterborough. It's Peterborough. Fucking Peterborough.
Can you stop saying the place out loud?
No.
So calm down, I don't want anybody to think we're not from here.
What?
Basically, it started off as one of those sort of crazy ideas when I was walking home from work. There'd been a bit of a period in Peterborough where the only sort of like dedicated heavy metal club had shut down, and so there wasn't very many gigs happening and all this kind of thing. So we basically just wanted to bring the music that we were passionate about in the extreme metal scene to Peterborough.
I think at the time we've just released our EP, or we're about to release our EP, Car for Pigs, which was great. In the end, that one to terrorise and got 8 out of 10, which we were chuffed about. No, that's pretty nice. But now we're writing an album, going in for the first one. So probably mid next year, I imagine.
Really?
Dudes often do incredibly high, far-reaching academic studies, and we can't fault that. We want to encourage him to do the best he can.
I think down for him, it's down to time, and he's got to choose between doing that and doing it. So it's cool. It's sport.
He's just a good guy. Shame to see him go, of course.
He's been a wizard.
He is definitely a wizard. Yeah. What, really? I went on to the first night, but I've never been to the Attica Club before. But yeah, great venue. Yesterday, I didn't get to go along, but bands like Crossburner, they always turn up, they always throw down, have a great time. And tonight, to see a room as full as this and hear the sounds we are, Razor Eater, just a ball of noise, brilliant. And the last guys, Pet Slims of the Year, definitely a right on the street. Yeah, if there's ever going to be a poster boy or poster boys for a promotions company, or especially for metal, Chris Rabbit and Matt Airy, they're going to do everything they can for you. So we can't follow them. And also, I don't live too far away. We need these guys, so it's really local for us. And yeah, they're just hugely accommodating. It's brilliant.
It's nice to see like a lot of sort of closeness and fraternity.
Mad pussy vibes.
Yeah.
Found out. It's big from the hardcore scene. Online, if you Google us, you have to ignore the film called The Projectionist and then go through about 2 or 3 other bands called The Projectionist. But yeah, that's on Spotify, Bandcamp's a good one.
Facebook.com/This is the Projectionist.
This is
The Projectionist.
This is the Projectionist.
Yeah.
Really well, thanks for coming and talking to us, guys. Really appreciate it. Cool.
Where are you guys from? Peterborough. From Peterborough. What's the scene like here, metal-wise or any music-wise?
It's progressive.
Progressive?
They're getting. There are some bands that could be better. There are some bands that,
But you have bands. You've got live music.
We have bands. We have one. It's good.
Who are you guys here to see?
Pet Slims.
Play music.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Guitar, bass, drums, and a smattering of vocals as well.
And what comes out comes out. It's not like we label ourselves to be post-rock. And we have actually labelled ourselves post-rock, because if we have to be labelled, which we do, in this day and age, we have to be labelled on websites and stuff, it has to be post-rock. But the bands differ so much. So we just play music, and it's not like I can imagine being a 16-year-old band and wanting to sound like The Sugar or Oceanside, whereas we don't even think like that. We just he plays the drums, I play a bass guitar, Scott sings now and again and plays the guitar, and it's what happens.
Cool.
And you just get sick of trying to convince your mates, trying to sell your mates £4 or £5 tickets, and it's just like, I don't want to play Peterborough anymore because the venues in Peterborough, the venue in Peterborough, the only one that's left. They say you've got to have a set amount of people come to your gigs, or you owe them money, and I'd never have to pay them money, and I wouldn't have to pay them money because it is that I see it as you're the promoter, you asked us to play, you should be making an effort. You know what I mean? Not then going, will you play? Yeah. And pissed off with us because 30, 40 people have turned up and not 100 people have turned up. And so we just got sick of people, don't want to play anymore, and I'm good friends with, we're all good friends with like Dean from the Infernal Sea, and he just asked us to play tonight. So the only reason we're here tonight, basically, is because me and Dale in January came to a gig here.
Yeah, the last Fratricidal promoter's gig was...
We probably would have said no, but the only reason is because we came here and it was done well.
It was really good.
It's well set up.
So you're a fan of Fratricidal?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Just purely on the last show we saw, because it was packed out, the sound was good, it was a pro setup.
But it's a DIY, it's DIY.
Yeah, but that's a DIY, yeah.
Excellent.
That's cool. We've had to change it because we got picked up by Candlelight Records. There was this whole thing, it's 50% of people are like, that's the best band I've ever heard. Another 50% like, that's fucking ridiculous, what are you talking about? Pet Slimmers of the Year. So we've changed to PSOTY now, and I suppose that was kind of from external pressure, but the whole reason that started was Pet Slimmers, or PSOTY, I should get into the habit of saying that, started as a side project. We were in 1,000 Fires before me, Steve, and another guy called Lee. Scott wasn't part of it. That fell apart, and then we got Scott on board, so we'll start another band. It was, like I say, it was kind of a side project. And we just thought it was going to be us messing about a couple of hours a week, playing some songs,
Just
jamming out, yeah. And we had this Shots Almanac, it's this book, it was in my toilet where I used to live. It's just Bob reading, and it was a book of stuff that had happened on that over the past year. And it was like awards and who got the Nobel Prize and who did this, who did that, and the highest rated TV show, stuff like that. And one of the things was an award for Pet Slimmer of the Year, like who had the fattest pet and who got it down to the slimmest size. Exactly. And Scott comes out the bog after reading his book and says, I just read this book, it's Pet Slimmer of the Year. I was like, that's a fucking cracking band name. Let's have it. So we used it.
Regret it now?
And now it's like, because it just snowballed and we got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now we're like, it's like this fucking name.
Yeah, stupid name.
So that's where it came from. So. Facebook.com/PSOTY, because we managed to get that changed.
Nice.
And there's a Bandcamp, there's a SoundCloud, if you Google either PSOTY or PSOTY, there's tons of stuff, and YouTube, there's a lot of videos on there that people have just made. They've downloaded a
People
track.
from Bulgaria decide to make a video.
Yeah, and they just made a video.
Amazing.
But then we did have a proper video done for a song off the album, Days Until Disappeared, that's on there. So there's a lot of stuff that you just Google.
Because it is such a standout name, you can Google it, and the only thing that comes up is Almanac.
Yeah, it passes to Google there, so it's probably not that shit band name. Right?
No, there are number one on Google, is there?
Plus points to it, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
We've done a few shows together with Campus Promotions as well. And yeah, the response has been really cool. Everybody picked up on it, and I think we were also, like the Infernal Sea, for instance, the gig we did with them in January went really well because they hadn't played in a long time, and I think there was that appetite for the music. So yeah, we just decided to start up this and make it into a regular thing. Still bringing in these the bigger bands that would usually miss Peterborough off its tour circuit. Then we've also worked with a lot of local from around the local area and in Peterborough.
what we called? Like sludge crust groove punk.
Sludge crust groove punk.
Yeah,
That sounds
progressive too.
Oh, nice.
I like what Panda do, Final C stuff. Really digging it. Cool.
I like Razor Eater.
I like Razor Eater as well.
Was a bit naff before, but it's getting a bit better now. We're getting a few more hardcore shows and slowly a bit more metal shows. So.
You've got a few venues that do have some good shows around there, and you do get a few amount of people out there. It's surprising considering it's a small thing.
When you had quite a good run through your set, you just kick back and chill. That's Family
With your Family obviously.
Yeah.
Family being
The band.
Familia.
We've got Facebook, we've got Bandcamp, we've got Rhythm Nation, what else we've got? Big Cartel, Bandcamp again. We did have a Twitter. I don't know if we still do.
And we will have a website soon.
Yeah, we'll have a website soon. What else we got?
That's
So
it.
we've got a Bebo page, a MySpace.
How do you reckon tonight has gone so far? Well,
I've been really happy with it. Yeah, I think we've both been, really impressed with the turnout. A lot of people who have been very vocal in support of it, sharing it around on social media, and just getting really excited for it, which is nice to see. And yeah, the turnout's been good. And we've had some awesome bands play. We've had Disinterred come over from Belgium, so it's. I never imagined when I started that I'd be booking a band from Belgium. So
it's kind of like a high point for you then.
yeah.
Awesome.
It was awesome. It was an okay turnout, not too much people though. We played with our friends in Funeral Horror. They're a Dutch band, really cool, old school death metal. Turned to Boltzrohr, you should check it out.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's really got a lot of cool Boltzrohr parts, and they're getting kind of big in the Dutch scene and the German scene as well, because they are on FDA Records. It's a big German label, a record label. So we had tons of fun actually, and our friends in Berlin ground to put it up, so it was a nice night.
Cool.
It took a few hours. We had to go from Ostend to Dunkirk or Calais to get the ferry, which is about an hour and a half. We took the ferry at 4 a.m. It was a 2-hour trip over, something like that. And then our GPS sent us through London. Instead of taking the M1 and then the M11, we just went through London and went straight on the M11. And that was pretty crappy. So we arrived around 9 a.m. local time.
Cool.
So it was a long trip, but worth it.
Not too bad.
Yeah, we have something in the merch and it's called the Disinterred Zombie plus hot sauce. And it's something I like to make and a lot of people like to eat it. So I decided to make it our hot sauce. Sell it.
Cool.
And it's working pretty well. So you should try it out.
Awesome. I don't think I can think of many bands that sell their own hot sauce, so yeah.
There are a few. No, we're very original on that. So
Sure, buddy.
you're the first Belgian band, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably.
I have my own home recording studio at my rehearsal space, so we recorded our last album ourselves. We'll probably do the next one ourselves, and then we'll just do all of them ourselves.
We release it ourselves.
We don't have a label. Well, we do have a label now who puts it out on CD, but we're not really into CD, so we just do vinyl and tape releases ourselves. The DIY thing kind of comes from our punk and hardcore background, because Yeah, he used to be in a hardcore band called Justice. I used to play in like hardcore metalcore bands. Or guitar player used to play in hardcore bands. We kind of picked it up over there, and we all drifted towards that metal, and we missed that DIY approach, the like get out and do things yourself, and it doesn't have to be like perfect as long as it's yours, you know? You don't have to pay a designer like £500 to make you an album cover when you can just steal it off the internet yourself.
You don't have to wait for a label to come up to you and say, okay, we'll release your album, or we don't have to wait for a booking agency to say, oh, we'll look for shows for you, because we get our shows ourselves, we book them ourselves, we do everything ourselves, and that way it goes faster.
Facebook, that's always a good bet. You can buy our merch on our Big Cartel web store. You can stream pretty much all of our music, I guess, on Bandcamp.
You can stream it all from the Bandcamp.
Yeah. Like everything we released is available for free on the internet.
Yeah, basically.
So you can just stream it from the Bandcamp, or you can purchase it over. Like our first demo is a free download. I think our live tape is one as well. So check it out. Our 7-inch isn't available for free because it costs a lot of money. But if you search well enough, you can find it for free on the internet like everything else. So if you want to download it, just download it. It's not the sales that matter. It's like people who listen to it and give their feedback and enjoy it. That's what we're in it for.
All the bands that we've booked in the past have all said that they'd like to come back. Even Fratricidal, and they did have a bad time of it. Our first gig, we had a great problem setting up the sounds and everything. They were so patient, and by the end of it, they were like, "Yeah, we'll come back. We'll definitely come back and play." And that's always good because not too many bands that don't think about playing Peterborough. And rightly so, it is an effort to get people to come out. But if you can bring a band, it's like the Infernals say, they always bring like a crowd. You know, there is bands that people will come out and see. I would say the scene in Peterborough is quite fragile. It is quite fragile.
I'm here to see Razor Eater.
Seen them before?
I have.
You like them enough to see them again?
I adore the band. I think they've done incredible for themselves, and they're one of the bands that are going to go quite far.
I don't know, just a good riff. You got that riff. Yeah, good backbone of the song, man. Like something that gets your head going. You don't want it to stop what it is, but it's just like that's it. Like throughout time, there is a riff. This I think this song actually has the riff in it. Yeah. Over the last few years, horribly, like Chris and Matt seem to be doing a pretty good job of bringing it back, which is always nice to see. Trying to bring out a town of bands in as well as like local bands, which is always like. They're not putting shows on every week. Yeah, like.
Do you feel that the scene's improving?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely see the progression.
It's nice to see some young people and not just old kids with beards.
We came to a show here like last month, was it? Yeah. And like, it's just like Martin the Father playing, I think. They're a good band, nevertheless, but you know, it's just like young kids here, just like moshing and stuff, and it was like really cool because we're used to going to shows where it's like a bunch of like old guys with beards, like just sweating at the front. It's just really refreshing to see that.
I think it's quick, easy and cheap. I mean, that's what it is. For like smaller labels just to put out like quick and easy, here's tape.
And at the end of the day, you're going to get it on the internet anyway. So
someone will probably buy a tape but not necessarily listen to it. Like they just think it's cool to have, and they'll like listen to it online anyway. Like,
listen to it in your car.
But
a lot of cars still have tape on it. So
I just personally think it's cool, and
cheaper than vinyl.
Yes.
It's still like kind of like lo-fi analog sound.
Yeah. And
that's it.
That's what we're
you
about.
can record it like shit and it'll still sound good. We've been waiting for ages to put we've finally sorted out artwork for a new EP which we'll bring out soon, which will be really good. The artwork is pretty cool. Like my mate Rob, it's it's just out of this world.
Early next year.
Yeah, early next year.
As well, you can just check it out and look like that. Just
a lot of come to a show.
There's a lot of
come to a show.
show somewhere. Yeah, come hang out. We don't buy. Come press. Sound like we do, but we don't. Yeah.
Peterborough.
From Peterborough, yeah.
Local then?
Yeah, local.
Yeah. What's the scene like here? Do you like it?
They're doing a new thing that's not really been seen before. This has never been used as a gig venue until they came along. So, yeah, no, they're kind of bringing it back a bit. To be fair, bringing it back a hell of a lot.
Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
So, have you been to a Fratricidal gig before?
No, actually, this is the first one that I've been to, which was Fratricidal Promotions. This is the first one I've been to.
Cool. What do you reckon so far? Sweet.
Yeah, the vibe of the area and the vibe of the place is actually really, really good. I didn't expect it to be this busy. Didn't expect there to be the amount of stuff that's here. To be fair,
and to get free sweets.
Yeah, at the door. There's always a bonus, isn't there?
Who are you guys here to see?
Yeah, I was here to see Raid's-Meter.
Infernal Sea.
Yeah, I wanted to check out the Infernal Sea. I've heard good things about them.
Projectionist at the Infernal Sea. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Infernal Sea and Projectionist.
Yeah, we've got a new bass player now. Cool. So obviously last time was with our old bass player, and Chris is now a new bass player, so that's changed. Cool. And set-wise, completely changed. Brand new songs now, so it's just out playing all of them.
Cool.
So far, isn't it?
Yeah. And you guys are still a band because Manowar still exists.
Exactly. We tend to find that more and more people are actually coming to see us, so they're seeing us the first time around and then they come along with their friend.
Awesome, so it's called like a snowballing kind of...
Yeah, getting the name out there, which is the main thing.
Awesome.
No, not yet. No. Russia's slightly scary place at the moment for bands that have blasphemous content like us. Could involve imprisonment and fines, and to be honest, I don't want to go to prison in Russia or anywhere, to be honest. So yeah, it's not the right time to play at the moment. Putin is his iron fist and he's ruling the place. Yeah, I've heard that he's introducing Christianity laws, like Christianity laws and stuff like that. So it's got a bit mad. So Russia would be cool to play one day, but when it's safe day. But a label from the Dark Arts have just put out a cassette over there. Basically, asked us to come and release the first album on cassette. And yeah, it made sense. Cool. It's kind of cool. Just said, yeah, do it. And, yeah, quite happy with that.
Groovy.
And cold.
Just give you a great grainy oral sound. I think as the vinyl thing about the cassette came back as well.
I think it's just a cool little collector's item, to be honest. Music fans just seem to really like them. There's like kind of like more nostalgic items, so it's kind of cool to just put them out as a small release and people buy them and they'll probably never play them because no one's got a tape player.
Just going away from the vinyl sort of thing,
Yeah, so just like more things that people just like have physically in their hand.
It proves to the metal crowd that they still want a physical item. Yeah. Like people don't necessarily want downloads, they still want to own the vinyl, they still want to own a CD or a cassette or something. You want to take that home and treasure it, hold it. So yeah, we're not fans of it. Download it. It's good.
Facebook, just anything on Google, just Google, Facebook, YouTube, Bandcamp. SoundCloud. Mainly Facebook and Bandcamp, I think. Recently started a mailing list, sort of looking at it. I can see I'm on the Facebook page.
In the face of your God, now humanity responds.
I think we should probably put a big shout out to all of the Infernal Sea, but particularly Dean for everything he's done to help us out. Not just tonight, but over the past, all the gigs we've done. I think we owe those guys quite a bit.
Big shout. And James does the sound here as well. I mean, he plays in the Infernal Sea and does the sound for it as well. So it's, you know, massive help. So,
Weapons of destruction, Lord, talk back.